Hello, fellow handmade business owners. I have gotten a lot of questions about whether or not your products will count for Amazon Handmade. So today we're going to talk about what counts as a handmade product based on Amazon's requirements. And this probably won't be an exhaustive list because I can't cover everything, but I'm going to go through their requirements and some of the questions that I've gotten about specific things. And hopefully this will give you a good idea of whether or not your specific handmade products will count as handmade in Amazon's handmade marketplace. So before you apply to Amazon Handmade, you have to first create a professional seller account. We've talked about this in other videos, but the professional seller account basically signs you up on Amazon as a seller, and it is a $39.99 monthly fee. You only have to pay the first month. Once you're approved as a handmade seller, that fee is waived. Amazon handmade stores are available in the following locations. So you have North America, which encompasses the United States, Canada, and Mexico. And then it also includes Europe, which is the United Kingdom, Germany, France, Italy, and Spain. So previously we've talked about what kind of businesses qualify for Amazon Handmade. We'll go over those briefly again, just to recap. You can be an independent maker and make the products yourself, which is what I do in my business. This would mean that you don't have any employees on a payroll. I occasionally have family members come help me package my products during busier times, like my mom or my nephew who really loves to help, or my sister. Amazon also requires that it be fewer than 20 family members, friends, or employees that help physically make the products. This just helps ensure that mass-produced items don't end up in the Amazon handmade space. You can have collaborative groups such as cooperatives, nonprofit organizations, non-government organizations, and social enterprises. Social enterprises, as defined by Amazon, are organizations with the goal to empower and support collectives and communities of makers making one-of-a-kind unique products. Each type of organization has specific requirements that are outlined in the application, and you can view them there. So let's talk about the types of products that are allowed. So number one, your products must be made by you or your fellow employees or family, and that again has to be fewer than 20. Production methods are allowed that use hand tools or light machinery if they're used by the individuals in their home, studio, or workspace. However, mass production, such as automation and assembly lines, are not allowed. Hand-altered, pre-made items are allowed. An example of this would be adding your own unique designs to cups or towels or items of that nature. Upcycling or taking a used item and improving its value through refinement or upgrade is allowed. For example, this could be painting or refinishing a table. You can also repurpose items, so you could take the item as a whole or parts and pieces of an item and repurpose those for something completely new and different. The example that Amazon gives is taking a vinyl record and making it into a bowl. You could also create pillow covers from rugs. So just to recap what is allowed, that is fully produced items that are handmade by you or your fellow team members with the use of hand tools or light machinery, hand altered or repurposed items, or upcycled items. So let's talk a little bit about prohibited items. You cannot outsource the production of your products. That would cause the items to be mass produced or made on a production line, which Amazon does not allow. The items cannot be drop shipped either, so that eliminates any drop shipping. Amazon does reserve the right to audit the items and make sure that you're not drop shipping and continuing to hand make your items. You also cannot resell products by a third party, so you can't have someone else make them if they're not part of your collaborative or your nonprofit organization. You can't bring in someone new that's not technically part of that organization and sell their products on the side. There are no digital or downloadable items in the Amazon handmade space. As far as I know, books are the only thing that are considered digital on Amazon space, and those are in a totally different category. You also can't sell food or ingestible items, mainly because there's too many rules and regulations around this, so that would not count as a handmade item. Also, no electronics are allowed. I can see there being handmade electronics, but Amazon does not allow this. You also can't sell live plants. The only way you can sell plants is if it's an air plant and it's part of your handmade or hand altered planters or containers of some sort. So it has to be a part of something else, and it can only be an air plant. It can't be like a live plant with dirt. And like I said, you can't sell the plants on their own as a separate item. You also can't sell raw materials or crafting supplies or any kind of supplies that even handmade artisans would use. You can sell supplies that you create, like yarn or wool or felt, and you can also sell items that would be considered supplies that you alter on your own. So if you dye your own yarn, that is allowed in the Amazon handmade space. So the one thing that I have been asked about is whether or not 3D printed items count as handmade. I know there's a lot of work in designing and creating 3D items other than just the printer printing the item. So I have done some research and found that there are some 3D printed items in the handmade space. I would say that you should get approved for 3D printed items as long as you're creating your own designs and you're not purchasing the designs from another seller. So I know that there are spaces where you can purchase the 3D designs. I would say even if you purchase them and you alter them to where they're your own unique thing, then that could possibly be okay, but you're definitely going to need to create things that are uniquely yours. The idea behind Amazon is to create a marketplace for unique, one-of-a-kind items that can't be purchased anywhere else. Yes, they could be purchased on Etsy, but I think Etsy has lost its way and is allowing other items that don't fit the initial mission of the company. Amazon does audit the listings and shops, so just be sure that when you list new products that they still meet all the requirements of a handmade listing. You can list non-handmade items in the regular Amazon marketplace with your handmade account. You just are required to keep at least one handmade item active at all times. I hope this video has helped you determine whether or not your products qualify for Amazon Handmade. If your product qualifies and you're ready to sell on Amazon, then you can grab my free 3-step easy checklist for getting started on Amazon and how to apply to Amazon Handmade. The link is down below in the description, and I hope I will catch you in the next video. Bye!